Are you tired of feeling left in the dark or left behind after your partner retreats to their emotional fortress? Well, there are major reasons for why this happens, and two major contexts in which this occurs. Avoidance either retreat completely and sometimes come back if you do this one thing after a breakup, but also avoidance will retreat after an argument, a conflict, or even too much time and closeness together where they feel too vulnerable. But in each of these scenarios, there's one major and very important strategy that you can take part in to ensure that the avoidant returns the vast majority of the time. Now, we're going to talk about these two specific contexts today, both when the avoidant comes back after a breakup and when the avoidant will come back after an argument. We'll start with the breakup first, and then we'll dive into the stonewalling piece and what to do if you're in that particular situation, and how the majority of avoidance will come back after an argument if you also do one particular thing. Now, for all of the information I'm about to share with you today, there's both a healthy and unhealthy way of treating these scenarios. And the last thing I want for you is to feel like this is something you can use as a manipulation tactic to get the outcome you're desiring, especially if that outcome is at the expense of what's healthy and right for you. So, we're also going to dedicate a big portion of this video to talking about how to use these very specific tools that often have an avoidant coming back in a way that's healthy, beneficial, and meaningful both to you and the other person. So let's talk about scenario one, a breakup. The majority of avoidants come back after a breakup if you do this one particular thing. What is that one particular thing in this scenario? It is going no contact. Now, what is no contact? How long should it last for? And why is this such a meaningful tool? Well, first and foremost, no contact is this idea psychologically that we literally break off all contact with an ex. And in particular, with avoidance, it tends to have extra power in the way it affects the relationship dynamic. Now, this includes when we talk about no contact, no social media contact, no excuses for why we should have contact, like returning things or belongings or bringing something up that we find important. It literally means cutting off all contact. And if we do break no contact within the window I'm about to share with you for how long it should last, what you will see is the no contact rule loses its power. Now, if you've heard of the no contact rule before, you've probably heard that we should go no contact for 30 days. Is this really true in the case of an avoidant attachment style? Well, a dismissive avoidant attachment style? No. In fact, a dismissive avoidant attachment style usually won't even come into missing the relationship until at least the 6 week mark post breakup. Why is this? Well, it's because an avoidant attachment style is constantly in this balance between their feelings and their fears. And when they're in a lot of closeness with somebody, it actually feels like a bit of a threat to them at a subconscious and psychological level because of their painful and usually unresolved past experiences with childhood emotional neglect, enmeshment, and often both of those things. So, an avoidant attachment style needs actual separation and distance to stop fearing those things and fearing their own vulnerability. And that's why no contact is particularly powerful in this case. So, rule number one there is that literally we do not break no contact until at least the 6 week mark. And again, if you like a social media post, watch a story, do anything that is engaging through a threat of contact with this person, it is in essence breaking no contact. And it becomes much less effective the moment we do that. Now, if you're dealing with somebody who is more extreme in their dismissive avoidant traits and characteristics, for example, somebody who really struggles with dismissive avoidant attachment style, ranks extremely high in their percentage, for example, on their quiz. I'll put a link to a free quiz below with a report if you need it as a resource. You'll generally see that you need somewhere between 6 weeks and you are up to 3 months. So you get to be the judge of this one. If you have an avoidant attachment style that you were dating and you see that they're very avoidant, more extreme, then you may want to wait a little bit longer than 6 weeks before actually trying to reconnect. Now, do you remember earlier I said there's a healthy versus unhealthy way of using this really powerful tool? Well, here's the big difference between healthy and unhealthy no contact. Healthy no contact means you stop contacting this person and you use that boundary or distancing as a powerful opportunity to really work on the relationship to yourself. And this means learning to self soothe through meeting some of your own needs, This means actually finding out the needs that you were drawn to in this person and building a healthy relationship to those things yourself. And this also includes learning to have better boundaries, learning to communicate better and more effectively so you can get seen and heard and understood by loved ones in your life. And maybe two of the most important things, regulating your nervous system, doing things like breath work, light exercise, meditation, things that help you stay in your body and get more into rest and digest mode on a regular basis than fight or flight mode all the time, where that magnified feeling of reactivity will occur from. And the second really, really important thing here is to learn to recondition your core wounds. This means actually shedding these painful things that follow us around. They're like our forms of personal relationship baggage. Things like I will always be abandoned, or I can't trust people, or I'll be trapped, or disliked, or rejected. As long as we're carrying these core beliefs about ourselves, they will rear their ugly heads in relationships time and time again. So, by using no contact and this period of 6 weeks to 3 months as an opportunity to do some nervous system work, some core wound work, needs and communication work, we actually empower ourselves to be 5 steps ahead if this person returns so that we can learn to relate to this person in a healthier and better way. Now, the second part of how to do no contact in a healthy form is equally important to the first part. And it's that we need to make sure that during that no contact period, we are also having a good think about what it is that we're truly looking for in a relationship. And if, in fact, the avoidant attachment style does come back around, you have to make the judgment call on if this person actually possesses those qualities, those non negotiables, those standards that you're looking for in a relationship dynamic to see if it's actually worth your time. In fact, you would ideally want to see that if somebody does come back around, that you're seeing key ingredients from this person, things like growth or clarity or initiative. They're really saying, I took the time to reflect and I do miss you and I want to initiate reconnecting and make an effort. And you're seeing an investment from their end. And at that point, you can vet to see if this is the right fit for you. And I think honestly, doing anything outside of these things in regards to no contact can often leave us on a trajectory towards a likelihood of going back to square one, reconnecting with somebody only to see that relationship dynamic potentially fall apart in the future. So, using no contact as that time to do your own inner healing and work, and then reassess if you think this relationship is right for you and what the powerful qualities or changes you need to see from your ex in order to consider getting back together with them would look like are absolutely massive things to be doing. Now, before I get into the second part of this video, which is all about the majority of avoidance come back if you do this, and we're going to use that conversation in the context of after an argument. If you're somebody who is thinking of repairing a relationship and trying to decide if that's the right thing for you, I'll actually put a link to a full free course called How to Repair Any Relationship that you can access for a limited time, fully free for 14 days. We do this 14-day free trial promotion once a year for Mental Health Month in May. And it's an opportunity right now to dive into our whole platform at PDS fully for free. So let's talk about the second part of this. If you are in an argument or disagreement with an avoidant attachment style and you find that they are stonewalling you, what is the one major thing you can do to see the needle move and make a difference? Well, it's actually calling out stonewalling directly, but there's a very particular way in which we need to do this. So, we know avoidant attachment styles really don't respond well to judgment, criticism, or emotional volatility because it often makes them feel unsafe and they usually don't really know how to navigate a conflict. They also tend to have shame wounds. And so, if they feel criticized or judged, they'll often shut down and pull away as a means of self protection. So, when we're calling something out, we have to call it out without tripping those big wounds or fears that the avoidant attachment style has. So, the best way of doing this is to say something along these lines, and I'll actually share a script with you here. So, let's say there's an avoidant attachment style, they're stonewalling me. I would probably say something like this: Hey, I can see that you're pulling back and shutting down a little bit, and I totally respect that you need your space. And at the same time, when you're ready, I think it's much more productive for us to have a healthy conversation and sort out whatever's not working right now so we can work through this together. as I find that pulling apart and just avoiding each other doesn't do anything for the relationship. So when you're ready, I'm ready to have a healthy conversation, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And by communicating in this form, what I'm allowing to take place is this initiative towards wanting to have a healthy conversation, but I'm also holding that person accountable to seeing their own behavior and to recognizing that there's a pretty devastating downside to just icing somebody out all the time. That's quite counterproductive. I'm also making sure that I don't hit on those core wounds of feeling judged or criticized or shamed in some sort of way, which will ignite those core beliefs underneath. Last but not least, I'm making sure I'm communicating in a healthy, safe manner, and even going so far as to say I'm ready for a healthy conversation when you are. So, these are really powerful tools that you can use in these types of situations, whether it be post breakup or post argument. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure you're using these tools in a healthy way. Now, again, if you want to do a deeper dive, just for the month of May, we are running a 14-day site-wide free trial to the Personal Development School. Again, we do this once a year for Mental Health Month. So I will put that link below if you want to join in, check out courses all about how to repair any relationship that can be really useful if we're thinking of getting back into a relationship with somebody and making sure we're vetting healthily on our own behalf, or any other courses or programs that include insecure to becoming securely attached, or things like boundaries, communication courses. And on top of that, within our platform, I actually do 3 webinars a week live where you can join me, ask any questions on video, or if you want to just come in on audio or type in the chat, you're welcome to do that as well. And we have daily other events, whether it's peer support groups or other webinars led by trained counselors, coaches, and facilitators. So check it all out. It's just open there for a limited time, 14-day full free trial. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.